Florida's about to get soaked. In this video, we'll be looking at that and the extreme weather pattern that's going to bring a lot more heat and possibly more severe weather over the next couple weeks. And maybe a tropical storm. But first, if you're new here, please be sure to hit the subscribe button for more weather updates. All this, tropical moisture is headed straight for Florida. So this is the kind of what it's going to look like. Really, you have, showers and some isolated showers, maybe a couple thunderstorms in Florida today, tonight, but then it really starts tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, you get more showers, and what happens is you have a kind of a line of showers and thunderstorms from this kind of front that kind of is going through the southeast, and then this kind of hits some of that tropical moisture that's coming up. And so then what happens is you'll get this kind of explosion of a lot of rain. And when you see some of the rain totals, it's quite a bit of rain. And you see what happens is really then it's on Tuesday where you get these really heavy showers and thunderstorms just pouring down across Florida, and it comes in waves. But you do have a weak low pressure system, but it's not like, I don't think this is going to be a tropical storm or anything like that, but it's just helping to fuel all this deep tropical moisture pouring across Florida pretty much over the next week. And this is the Euro model really shows what happens over the next couple days. Then it really gets really heavy. Especially there was some uncertainty as to where exactly you would have this band of the most heavy rain. Now it's kind of like an atmospheric river where the most moisture sets up kind of can really impact what areas will see the heaviest rain. But it actually looks like the models are really closing in on South Florida getting soaked, and as they need the rain because they haven't had as much rain as they should have. But it's gonna all come down at once. It's like over the next few days, it's definitely a lot of rain. And this is going into like Tuesday morning. Actually, you could have even Tuesday afternoon really heavy rain coming down across southern Florida, and this continues in kind of waves, but it just keeps going throughout the entire week. And then into the weekend it's still going, and then it does shift northward finally by next weekend, Saturday the 15th and Sunday the 16th, and then all the way into Monday. Then it actually shifts towards the Gulf Coast, so they could get some more rain. And then it just keeps pouring. All this moisture gets pulled up from the Gulf of Mexico. Just a lot of rain. The Weather Prediction Center is showing 16 to 18 inches of rain. Especially the coast of southwest Florida is really going to get soaked, it looks like, based on a lot of the models. It looks like they could. This is the Weather Prediction Center saying over a foot of rain over the next 7 days for South Florida, especially southwest Florida, where along the coast they could have 18 inches of rain. That's a lot of rain. And then, Florida, typically sees a lot of rain, but this is a lot of rain for just the next 7 days. And it's showing that on the Euro model, it's showing definitely over a foot of rain, close to approaching a foot and a half of rain in some areas. But then the GFS is much worse. The GFS shows, at least in a lot of places, 17, 18 inches of rain, even off the coast, possibly 21 inches of rain. I guess that's a lot of rain. And then, you would think that would lead to a lot of flooding, but funny enough, they don't show an extreme flood risk, but it does keep increasing through the next 5 days. So I think this could definitely see a lot of flooding. Even possibly they'll be able to fit in a high risk over southwestern Florida. So this will probably lead to a lot of flooding because they haven't had a lot of rain. There's been I think moderate drought conditions for Florida, so this is definitely a lot of rain coming in all at once over the next few days. So there's that, and then also this weather pattern will also have some more severe weather, but nothing like the big outbreaks of severe weather that we were seeing a few weeks ago. Because today there's the day 1 risk of severe weather across Arkansas and Mississippi and even southwestern Tennessee. That's a slight risk, and then another slight risk kind of east of Wyoming, and then there is going to be the potential for severe weather across the northern plains, the Midwest, possibly on Wednesday, and then again on Thursday, a slightly bigger area, but then not really much severe weather as anything really significant. But it is looking like over the next few days, what we'll see is, it looks like kind of bowing thunderstorms on Tuesday over Texas. We'll see what happens there. And then into Wednesday afternoon, I guess that's kind of where you could see some severe weather in this area. But then this continues. You have kind of possibly a line of storms or something going across from Nebraska over across Iowa, Illinois, even possibly over towards Michigan. We'll see what happens there. But then just that rain just pouring over Florida, that's really the big deal of the more extreme weather. And then, we have mostly just the daily kind of explosion of storms in the central and eastern U.S. The typical summertime thunderstorms, but also then there's a system kind of coming in towards the northwest, and there's actually going to be some snow in British Columbia and in the mountains. Really, there could be a couple inches of snow with this, even for June. It's like not that much snow, but a few inches, and even in other parts of Canada, maybe they could get an inch or two of snow. And this is kind of it's showing really this. What happens is you have this cutoff low that just kind of stalls off of Southern California, and then you have this big ridge that really builds across the western U.S. again, so more heat. But then towards the end of this week, what happens is you have that cutoff low does move into the southwest, so then this could actually generate potentially severe weather out ahead of this. You would think maybe that there would be some severe weather, because this is kind of what you would look for that. And this is going into Saturday, June 15th, Sunday, June 16th, and then so that's kind of where there could be severe storms. But then you start getting a bunch of ridging in the Midwest and the Northeast. But then you get troughing over the Pacific Northwest. You start getting this big trough coming in, so that could eventually lead to a big severe weather event, but we'll see. That's pretty far away, but there will be a lot of hot temperatures, of course, because you have the triple digits building. Especially, it's going to be Tuesday is where there's more heat for the southwestern U.S. 100 degrees in California, 105, 110 in Arizona, getting close to 100 in Texas, but not even as hot as what it'll be in the Southwest. Even Florida getting into the 90s. And then that heat really builds up. You even have, temperatures of 100 degrees in Kansas by Thursday. And then really just really hot temperatures, even getting towards 100 degrees in Mississippi on Saturday. Just temperatures in the 90s, even in Michigan, even along the East Coast, even into the Northeast. Southern Canada temperatures getting close to 90 to 95 degrees there. And then just seems like pretty much a lot of heat. Some cooler temperatures start building in the kind of the northwest and stuff like that, but even the heat index is going to be worse. Like, you have temperatures, the heat index temperatures are going to be, over 100 in some of these areas. You have all that heat really building up, and the heat indexes could be close to the actual temperatures depending on the humidity, but in some areas it could be even worse. Like, you have the heat index over 100 in a lot of places with temperatures in the 90s, and then you get heat indexes close to 105 across parts of the South. And then, that pretty much just continues. So just heat and rain for Florida and some severe weather. And then in terms of all that tropical moisture, it's not really a tropical storm hitting Florida. The GFS is trying to show like a weak tropical storm potentially, but there is still kind of a lot of shear, but there are times when that shear goes down, so you have like some of an opportunity for a tropical storm. But this storm, it kind of goes through June 15th, 16th, 17th, and then it kind of disappears into just more rain. But then you have another storm behind that, so it's like you had this one storm over Florida, and then going kind of up towards the Gulf Coast, then you have this, and then now you have this back here. This could theoretically become something, but like, the GFS is trying to make it into a tropical storm, but it doesn't look that organized, because there's still a lot of shear, but like over the next couple days you have just extreme shear across the Gulf Coast and Florida and everything like that. And then it does seem like the shear goes down if there's anything underneath this. If there's something underneath this, then it could form into something. But then the shear increases again across the kind of where you would expect anything to form. But then it looks like towards, I guess, June 23rd, June 24th, you have some of that shear really goes down, and so you might try to get something that forms under this. It's like everything's just not there to really produce a bunch of tropical cyclones yet, but the GEFS is trying to show that a lot of potential for storms in the Gulf. So it's trying to show something, but there's nothing really out there right now to look at. And the CFS is showing this June 16th, June 23rd. I guess, if anything's going to form, it's going to be right there. And so we'll have to see. There's a lot of moisture there, but just nothing really organizing into a tropical storm or anything like that. And then June 23rd to June 30th, you have this is kind of just tropical waves going up. So then that looks like more of a out to sea track, but it still affects the Caribbean potentially. If that were to form anything, the Gulf doesn't look as active, and then kind of tones down. But then towards early to mid-July, it does look like there's going to be something. Like, it looks like it's trying to show some storms trying to form. So, we'll just have to see what happens there. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more weather updates. Extreme Weather Zone, out.